Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This week we've got a cool little upgrade for the truck. Still waiting on the light bar. I've sent the mounting brackets out to get painted. Those should be done on Monday. But I should be picking those up probably Tuesday, Wednesday, because I'm taking this truck in to finally get lifted on Monday. Hopefully, probably. They say they have all the parts in this time, so fingers crossed on that one, and we actually get this thing lifted. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and, as you can tell by the title, get this little upgrade knocked out. We're going to be doing Baja design fog lights. So we're going to be upgrading the factory fogs with the Baja design ones. It's a little kit you can get directly from CJC. It's a couple $100 and it comes with everything you see here. Alright, we got on the left some Mopar brackets, some replacement, I guess they're not really Mopar, I guess they are. Replacement mounting brackets. I think these are the ones that you get on the Bighorns. Basically we're swapping out the Laramie for the Bighorn bracket, and these Baja design lights mount directly in that, as I understand it. So it comes with the instructions, the lights, these adapters, I guess, and some bolts, and this box full of, you know, keep it safe packaging, and I guess a couple more brackets. So let's go ahead and get into it. First step, you know, you can follow these instructions here they give you. They're pretty straightforward, so I'll go ahead and get going on the first step here and set you up below the truck when we take out the factory fogs. Okay guys, I am now under the driver's side fog light housing. This is the housing here that we're going to be removing. This is the connector for the fog light. The first step in, part 1A of the first step is to pull this plastic locking tab out. Just use a screwdriver, wedge it in there, and just rotate the screwdriver until the locking tab comes out. And then I may need two hands for this, but you got to remove this guy from that guy. Oh, there we go. So now that this is out, we can proceed to part 1B. Alright, so step 1B is to remove this guy. I've already done it. Essentially just pull it this way. There is a sort of tab here. It runs sort of from right to left. This thing will slide, to the left and off if you give it a pull that direction. So that comes off. The next thing we're going to do is just squeeze this clip here, pull that back. That comes off. Now we've got 4 10 millimeters. There's 1, 2, and I assume somewhere up there. There we go, 3, and then 1 on that side to undo, and this should come out. So I'm going to undo these 4 and catch back up with you then. Alright, so I've gotten the 4 bolts out. These 2, obviously very easy. I used my ratchet spanner up for this one. This bolt was a pain in the butt. Super hard to reach. I could barely get it with my socket, my hand socket. The other comment about these bolts, they're not truly 10 millimeters. I don't know what they are. My 11 millimeter is too big, but it does just get the job done, even though you can kind of tell it rubs a little. Here's another one with the 11 millimeter. So I tried 7/16, I tried 3/8, and both of those didn't fit. 3/8 were too small, 7/16 was too big. So it's not quite a 10. My 10 doesn't really fit on this. And the 11, a little big, but it gets it done. So I was using the 11, got all 4 of these out. Now we can pull this assembly back and take a look at it once we get it on out of here. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull this out. Once I get it, separated, once I pull this harness clip off and this harness clip off, I'm gonna pull this out and we can take a look at it at the workbench. Okay, I've got the factory fog assembly out. I still have the original Laramie fog light bezel in here. I've got this non-marring pry bar tool. I use to pry off the wire harness retaining clips here and here, so that helps get those out. You're going to use your 8mm socket and undo, but not completely, so you're just going to loosen this, and then there's a total of 4. So there's this one, I think there's a total of 4. My instructions said 5. I'm not sure if that's different for a different year. There's 2, there's one in this corner, 3, and there's one just behind this clip here, 4 that I've seen. If there's a 5th one, I will let you know. But you're going to undo those, loosen them up, but not take them off completely. Loosening them up will allow this sort of loosening this bolt, or sorry, this nut will allow this clip to drop down. You do all 4 or potentially 5, and this thing will slide out from the front. So that will allow this to pop out, and that will allow us then to remove the parking sensors for this and then swap them into the new one. Okay, I thought I'd just come back and let you know that there are in fact 5 clips. There's 4 on each corner, and then snuck way over here on the left side of the driver's side one, there's a 5th one on the side. So I'm going to pull that off, and hopefully this whole bezel will then pop out. Okay, we're in a much better place now, standing up on the workbench. This is the old bezel. I've got the parking sensors out. New bezel. You can see it's got that shape in it. Don't have the mounts for the parking sensors, so gotta pull these out, move them over here. So if you look kind of close here, there are tabs on 2 sides of this. Just depress both of these, this will pop out, and put it over there. So I'll meet back up with you once I've got that done. Alright, the next step you got to do after you get these parking sensor bezels mounted, come over here and kind of build out the fog light assembly into the mounting bracket. You got a bolt and a washer, and then a sort of crush washer. You're going to be putting the pointed sides of that. You got the smooth side and the pointed sides. You're going to be putting the pointed sides towards the steel mounting bracket here, and the bolt and washer through the other side here, and then it will screw through. Already done this one here. You can see I've got the bolt and washer, crush washer, the the abrasive side against the mounting bracket, and the bolt through. So don't torque it down just yet. Do the other side first, and then torque them down together, and I'll meet back up with you for the next step after this. Alright guys, so I was able to get one pod mounted. The other one, it's a lot harder than it's supposed to be, and I will tell you why in a sec. We're going to be mounting this pod to the, I guess it's the, I don't know what you call it, the Bighorn / tradesman version of this guy. It goes like this. You'll be mounting this in here, like that, and we'll be putting it in the truck. Back to this guy, Baja Designs. Got to take some points off on this one. They call themselves the scientists of lighting. They're not very precise for scientists. They've sent me one of the washers they sent me had a smaller internal diameter than the other 3. One of these normal washers. Wasn't able to get it over the screw. Had a washer line around that fit, so I was able to use that one. These screws, though, I'm not sure how clear it'll be on camera, but the one on the right is a much larger internal diameter than the one on the left, and the one on the left is like how it should all be. All 4 screws should be like the one on the left. The other 2, which go in here, they were the correct size as the one on the left. This one on the right is way too fat, and it does not fit in this hole. So I have to stop what I'm doing and go to Home Depot and get a bolt to replace this fat one that came with the kit, because this is not the right bolt. So yeah, I guess take a few points off there, Baja design. Make sure you send the right stuff with your kit. So we'll have to table this passenger side mount for later and finish up with this guy so I can get driving on the road again to grab another part for that later on. Until then, I'm going to mount this into here and meet back up with you when we're putting all this in the truck. So to mount this guy in there in the truck, I'm going to take three of these 4 7mm bolts out. So go ahead and do that with a socket, and then we'll use those to attach these here and then move back to the bumper. Okay, so now that we've got the squadron LED mounted in the housing, we're going to take the trim piece where the parking sensors go, mount the parking sensors, mount each of the parking sensors, and place this in here. That's going to be, I think, probably one of the harder parts of this job, is trying to get all 5 of these screws to interface with this and secure. So those are the 8mm. Putting the parking sensors in, it's really straightforward. You just push them in and then push the piece back and try and work each of these tabs over it. So that's what I'm going to do next. I'll meet back up with you once this trim piece is in and the light is in place. Okay, one last thing you'll need to do before you install your new light mount into the truck is remove this clip and put it here. You can pull this out with some pliers. This is what holds the wiring harness, factory wiring harness in place. So I'm just going to grab some pliers, pull this off, put it here, mount it in the truck. Okay, we've got the 4 holes, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the 4 holes in the light bar, or in the light bar, in the factory, or in the new fog mount. So just line this up, put that in place there, and then grab your screws, put them in, tighten them down, and then you just start connecting it, which we'll do once I tighten these down. Okay guys, I got all 4 bolts done. This is the factory wiring harness. The kit comes with this adapter here. Plug that into this guy. I've seen the black match up with the white, strangely, and the brown match up with the black, just in terms of how this connector has to go into this one. You can't flip this guy 180. It won't fit in here, so the black has to match up with the white. And then on the other end of this, this is the cable that runs to the light itself. You have a white and a black. White is power, black is ground. And on the other side, it's white is power, black is ground. So white goes to black, which then goes to white again. So when you're putting these wires in the adapter that it gives you, black has to be sort of on the smooth side of the adapter as opposed to this latched side. Let me try and get that to focus. Yeah, so the black has to be on top when you're looking at the door on this latch. Brown is on top if you're looking at the back side of the latch, the other side from that isn't the door, and in the way you'll have black to white, which is weird, but that's the way this has been wired. So once it's all done, zip tie it up out of the way, and you're good to go. Alright, I'll meet you back up tonight after I've gone to the store to grab that bolt for this mount, and I have both of them done. Alright guys, we are done. Got the passenger side mounted. It took a little extra doing. Had to go to Home Depot, grab an extra screw because it didn't come with the right screw, but we got it done. So you see both of them here. They're really quite bright. I can't look at them directly. So this is this is the road legal one. You can get the other option, which is a little bit brighter, although you will have to not necessarily run those on the road, just turn your fog lights off if that's what you go for. So if you found this review helpful, if you liked the install, if you like what you're seeing here on the channel, if you want to see more of it, Feel free to subscribe below, turn notifications on, and stay tuned for more.